Look at this, we have a 70 Charger. I'm glad I kept 5 of the same cars. Even though it's only a base model car, they only made 99 pink cars. So for every 1,000, 2 were pink. This is what we're looking for. Come on, magically appear on my magnet. I'm all over the place searching for parts because I have parts all over the place. Not happening. I mean, actually, it's a rarer car being base model than it is being an RT. Oh, look at that, hey? Yeah, but all in all, it's coming, like I said, looking like a car. I can't wait to see this thing all pink. Hey guys, day 2, Pink Charger project. Yesterday we just basically looked for parts. We found fenders, we found hoods, we found bumpers.
Whatever this stuff is on the door and the fenders, even a 36 grit grinding disc, this stuff dulls and barely takes off.
This is tough, but I mean, we've got to strip it off.
Yeah, you got to strip it off, but whatever it is, it's like contact cement.
So we got the roof stripped, we got the quarters stripped, we got the trunk stripped, we took the back bumper off, we've got to get all this stuff down just so we can prime it, seal it, then we're going to have to work on the trunk. We've almost got this side all stripped. Maybe Castle start laying some mud here. We'd like to get the fenders bolted on and the hood just so we can see what it looks like. Lincoln's supervising as always. He's doing his job.
All right, so we're almost done stripping Mike's car. I've got the second half of this fender. That fender still hasn't been touched, and Mike's got half of that one door done. So that's all that we got to do for stripping, and then after that we can start hammering out some of the dents and getting some filler on this car. So after we get that done, I can start hammering out some of these dents. Everything's in pretty good shape, but the doors and fenders, they all have some pretty hard gouges in them from something. I'm gonna get to stripping the rest of this. Mike's gonna start assembling the front end because we kind of got to get everything fitted before we can do any of our body work anyways. And hopefully we get a lot accomplished today.
What?
You look like Darth Vader.
Luke, I am your father. Basically, I'm not sure what they used as a sealer or whether it was a high build solid. Whatever they put on this hood is harder than the back of God's head. I mean, a lot of stuff, if it's just primer or something, peels off easy. This is hard. It took me hours to get it stripped. This is the first one you're doing by yourself.
No, the yellow one. I did.
Well, but Blair was there supervising.
But I did all the body work, yeah, paint to that one, and polishing all by myself.
Well, that's good. Well, this one's even better. Pink. It's your color.
I do like that it's pink. I hated that yellow that we painted that on.
I thought that was amazing. I regret selling that. I want to do one of my Charger, one of my Super Bs that color.
And every single person that came and looked at that car said, oh my God, look at those body lines.
They actually, except for the Mopar freak, said those lines are too sharp.
Too sharp and too straight.
Hey guys, Mike here. We're just going to finish prepping the other side of the hood so Cass can get ready to mud it. So we painted this on 10 years ago. We stripped the top side, but this stuff is really adhering good, and we don't bring all the sandblast underneath all this. And to strip it by hand is just way too onerous. So we're gonna scuff it down, we're gonna seal it, we're gonna paint it. We've been making progress on this. I had to go away for a couple days, left Cass to her own devices. Let's see what she's up to. Oh, look at this. We have a 70 Charger. Wow, gaps look pretty nice.
People who did this fender before, they did a patch here on the inside. When you open the hood, you can see it. Yeah. But it's just a little tight there. And then somebody's ground off the edge of this.
Yeah, I was looking at the other edge yesterday too.
Yeah, so I'll have to add a little bit onto this corner because somebody's, I don't know if maybe it got left sitting on the two tips. And then this one just maybe got banged in. I have to add a little bit to that and pull this over.
And then that'll bring it right out here.
Yeah, and so that'll be good.
Because, I mean, the problem is it's a huge car. I mean, the gaps are 3-4 feet long, depending what body panel you're working on. I mean, we had to find some parts for the hood latch. We're still waiting for bolts so we can put the bumper on and line that up. But we are making very good progress. It's starting to look like a car.
And then we have a little issue On this fender, this bottom valance and this part of the fender, like it comes out too much. Like
there's a lot of tweaking. You're dealing with basically 56-year-old car. I mean, it's not like it hasn't been damaged. I mean, like I said, we started with basically a roof and a firewall and, you know, some various parts and a bunch of tubing.
But the body line on this fender has been beaten, so I'm gonna try to beat that back out and see if that helps get it maneuvered, but I don't know what I'm gonna do there yet.
Yeah, but all in all, it's coming, like I said, looking like a car. Looking like a car. Like I said, once we finish getting the Bondo on it and get it in a couple coats of slick sand and it's all one color, it's gonna make an amazing difference. Right, when it's all different colors like a patchwork, it's really hard to see what you're looking at. But once the vehicle's in one color, doesn't matter what color, it's gonna be an amazing transformation. Good, so we're gonna be doing, so you're gonna be doing some mud today, perfect?
Yeah.
Right on. Well, I gotta scuff all this after too?
Well, all of it has to come off, right?
Okay, I'll get to it. Yeah, we're not mudding anything down there though. It just gotta come off.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll get it. Yeah, but the bumper hides it all.
Yeah.
Whatever, I'll strip it after. I'll figure out this trunk box and then
I'll strip all this stuff before I go do the trunk of stuff.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Cass. Yeah. Okay, when you come back, okay, then just do me a favor for a sec. Can you just lift up on that a bit?
Yeah. Yeah, the ones that I have holding on the lower valance there too.
Their heads are too small.
Well, that and they're too long.
Okay.
It's like these ones up here are hard to get tight because they are touching now, so they can't tighten up anymore.
Oh, okay. Basically, I'm short a couple parts with the hood latch mechanism. We also had issues with the trunk latch, but one of our buddies came and basically the issue with the trunk latch was because it was an aftermarket part and it wasn't quite stamped out right. With the front, basically, we just had to find all of the parts. Hopefully we get the right ones and then they'll have the right size heads, right? Because these heads are too small. Yeah, these are the ones we need, the Chrysler ones. See, they've got a way bigger head on them, eh? I'm pretty sure it goes back here and here. Let's see how it works. Oh, look at that. It even works. Okay, so which way do you need it?
Over this way a little bit.
Yeah.
And then it needs to almost go up and pair.
Okay. Hang on.
You can move this over, right?
No, you can move it up and down. Like there's no lateral. Hang on. Let's just see. I just don't know what's got to move, Cass.
Because when that's not latched, the gaps are perfect.
Yeah,
so
okay.
Latch is pulling it. Can you adjust this?
Nope, there's no adjustment in it. It's just two holes.
And there's no adjustment like on these things?
No, there's this hole. I mean, this goes, you can adjust it this way, like you can twist it.
You can twist it?
What?
Okay, well then bring this side up a bit.
It's as high as it goes. I can bring the other side down.
Okay, try that.
A little better, still got to go at 8. It's getting better. I can't get it over that way anymore. This gap is perfect.
I could move that fender in a bit more. Like you could loosen it off a bit and bring it in.
Like a 1/16 of an inch, and then
Yeah.
it'd be just, does that mean it's good here?
It's just the two bolts. So,
Okay.
but there's lots of tension on it,
Yeah.
so when you're doing it, pull back on the fender and then like slowly get it to where you
Okay.
ready and then tighten those bolts. I've used a
I mean, our heights are good,
yeah.
right?
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty close.
This one needs to come up just a bit, but also there'll probably be
There'll be
some
bumpers.
or yeah.
Yeah.
And also run your hand like this.
Yeah, this is hump.
Yeah, so this actually has to, it's perfect here. This is, the hood's bent in, so
Yeah.
I gotta.
Yeah, because this is perfect. Yeah, this has got, yeah, she's been beat here.
Yeah, so that's
Yeah.
why it's not meeting there.
Yeah. All in all, for a f***ing car this big and this old, okay, let's see if we can, okay. I don't know how to hook up the rest of it, but it's working. Okay. What do you think, Cass? Woohoo!
Looks pretty good.
Pretty well consistent front to back now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that was good.
Yes.
Still might be a little tight on this side, but.
I don't think so. I think it looks really good. I mean, it's the same tightness all the way.
Yeah,
It
it's
doesn't-
just tighter than the other side.
Yeah, but you can't see both sides at once, Ka. You've been hanging out with Blair too much. Mister, I'll spend 4 days galloping for perfection.
We strive for perfection. That's
Yes, we strive for perfection, yes. I mean, the hood latches is pretty well level. Okay, if you need to open it, you got to reach behind you and push.
okay.
Because I'm short, I don't know where this piece goes. We're missing something,
Yeah.
right? Because this thing, I think it goes sideways,
Yeah, like does that visibility of the crazy.
right? Because like when it closes, it has to push. Right? But I just don't know where it would, how it would hook up unless there's a leader.
See? So what? Okay, so this pushes that open.
Yeah.
It makes more sense that it goes up like this, but I could be wrong. It just fit better that way.
I think it's got to go, unless there's a piece, like you think you'd either pull it or you've got to push it sideways.
Yeah, there.
Right? But it,
Well, go look at one of your other cars because they'll probably have a similar latching system.
yeah. Let me go check his Super B. Super B's got one up here though. Like I said, Charger's all by itself, the bastards, right? They just had to come up with a totally different thing just to screw everybody. There was a funky bolt and I wasn't quite sure what the purpose of it was, and we didn't have one. So I looked through the manual. Amazing book. It shows every bolt, every nut, every screw. The General Guide to Fasters and General Assembly, 66 to 70 Dodge B bodies. Since I've got 7 or 8 of them, and these are basically the Bible. Tells you all the parts and what the fasteners are. So we're just looking, since I've never assembled the Charger one, to see what it says. Then I went, aha, I'm missing a piece because I didn't know what it was. There's a special fucking bolt. Cass, you're right. It says it's the same on the fucking Super B. Shut. So basically, it was a very important piece. Like I said, we went out into what's left of the Field of Dreams, shrunken as it is. That's why I have 5. Basically, most of the cars I have now are 1970s, whether they're Super Bs or whether they're Chargers. Okay, guys, let's go take a look. Okay, so this is what we're looking for. You can see this piece goes in, and there's probably a rod, and the lever goes sideways. And you need this funky bolt, which is probably, there's a better picture of it. So it says 70 Coronet and Charger hood latch release. Well, we happen to have 5 70 Super Bs out here and some Coronets. Let's go take a look and see what we can see. Oh, look, there's a 70 Super B. Mechanically, the rear ends are the same. Front suspensions are the same, springs. So a lot of the parts do interchange. There we go, same lever. So this, it locks. Well, not that this one works. And then when you pull that, it opens. Yeah, this one's pretty well pooched. It's broken, as a matter of fact. Okay, but that's the piece we need right here. This bolt and this rod. So I'm gonna go grab a wrench and then we'll get them. We have another 7 Coronet over here. Oh, look at that. We need one more of these. And where are you gonna find it? In a brown dirt pile? You're never gonna find that, Mike. You are dreaming. Come on, magically appear on my magnet. I'm all over the place searching for parts because I have parts all over the place. Not happening. It's just nothing here is organized. When we need Charger parts, 90% of them, well, some are in the truck, some are in the C-can, some are outside in the shop. Maybe we can take one off the other one. Still threads, okay, we still have threads here. So this is the bolt with the shoulder, and it's got a little lock washer on it. I wonder if this is the exact same, or if the Charger's slightly different. But it says the latch is the same. Goes right here like this. In case we need it, we can come and liberate something else. Yep, a little bit of lube and it'd work. But anyway, okay, yeah, we've got that right. This is straight. Oh, Okay, well this is different because it's Super B, it's not Charger, but okay, we need one more little clip. Not happening. We'll go see if we can't liberate one off of the Super B. That's the next one up on the meter clip. So, let's take, are they the same? They look the same. I'm gonna take them both off. I'm glad I kept 5 of the same cars. Charger and the Super B are both Dodges, so I mean there should be a lot of similarities. Okay. So this comes off. I should be able to take this one off. Okay. So this is the piece we need right here with these 2 little clips. Let's go try and put it on. You just put this back on. If you don't need the parts, leave them where they are. You might have one more charger to do after this one, and I've certainly got enough Super Bs to keep me busy for a while. The parts that we needed were available. Like I said, I'm gonna have to find more. I mean, they're out there, but we needed those parts now. So thankfully, they were just outside the back door. It was a win. This is the Charger one, and this is the Super B one. Sideways. Here to here, it's the same, so we need this bolt with the washer. And just because the Super B grill sticks out farther, obviously, than the Charger, this handle's a little longer and the Charger's a little shorter. But this is the piece we do not have. So we will liberate it and then go put these parts back in the car where we got them from. And I lost one of these clips, so I'll go put this one back because we have a spare. I think it's the same rod. Yeah, the rods look exactly the same. So we'll hook that up, and then afterwards we can de-blast them all. But we're just doing a trial fit, so I've never worked on one of these, so it's a learning curve, but we're learning. Okay, let's see what we got going here. You know what I did, Cass? I just bent the rod. Let's see if that's the adjustment we needed. Oh, look at that, hey? We closed the hood. Oh, well, you know what? Let's open it first. Close the hood. We've got pretty nice gaps. We go to open it. We push this. Up she pops. We lift this. Voila. We have hood latch and gap. Okay. I'm going to assemble the front fenders here. We'll just get this all up, and then I'll see if I can't find the headlight buckets and stuff for this. The hood and the fenders. We got the latches mounted, the hinges. It's starting to look like a car again. You know, as soon as you put the fenders and the hood on a car, it really changes the appearance. We're making some progress here. Learn by doing. And hardly wait to see it in one color. Stay tuned. It's going to be an amazing build. Remember, like, share, comment. Those that have should give. Peace, love, and joy, guys. Stay tuned.